Okay, so we are going to start in easy seat, Tsukasana, or any other seat that feels comfortable in your body and just lets you sit up nice and tall. Suddenly my voice feels all froggy. All right, so once you found your way into your seat, just take a second. Wiggle into your bum, wriggle out your shoulders, make sure your clothes and your hair feel like they're in a good position. And then if it feels comfortable to do so, close your eyes down for a minute or just soften your gaze, maybe stare at a point on your floor. And before you do anything really deep or meditative, just start to tune into the space that you're working in, but with your eyes closed. So get a sense of the floor beneath you, get a sense of the ceiling above you, get a sense of the walls around you. And then just for a moment, listen into the sounds of the room that you're working in. And then as you start to listen into the sounds of the room that you're in, maybe reach beyond the room that you're in. Can you hear the sounds of your house or the world outside of your house? And then can you start to draw that focused listening back in toward yourself? And then can you just start to find the sound of your breath? And as you listen into the sound of your breath, can you start to allow your breath to slow down just a little bit, drawing in a deeper inhalation and slowing down your exhalation? And then as we start to tune in and pay attention to that inhalation and exhalation, add just a little bit of gentle movement here. So as you inhale, just let your shoulders lift up toward your ears. And then as you exhale, just let your shoulders melt down. Inhale and let your shoulders lift. Exhale and let your shoulders melt down. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, soften your shoulders down and then keep your shoulders down. Bring your hands and stack them right on top of your heart and then pause here for a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, keeping your hands on your heart, eyes opened or closed now, totally up to you. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, but keep your hands stacked on your chest. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down toward your chest and see if you can just keep your shoulders down and back and then notice the space between the shoulder blades and down the back of your neck. Inhale and lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. On your next inhale, lift your chin up and hold there for a moment so you feel a gentle stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. On your next exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Stay there for an extra moment. Notice the back of your neck and the space between your shoulders. And then lift your head to a neutral position, release your hands to your knees. And we're going to move into a little pelvic tilt here. So it's going to be a small and subtle movement. You're just going to try to find a little bit of movement, mostly in the pelvis. So just a little tilt of the tailbone, forward and back. So it's not going to be like that big seated cat and cow. It'll be a little bit smaller and more subtle. But can you start to feel and sense that little bit of rocking into your sits bones as you tilt your tailbone forward and back? And then if you like, close your eyes down just for a moment and tune in and notice. You might notice you have to engage some muscles in the pelvic floor to help make that little rocking of the pelvis happen. You might find a little bit of engagement in the abdominal muscles to help make that rocking forward and back happen. Take one more tilt forward and back, and then we'll move into that seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back, curling the tailbone under. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and then take a few more cycles of breath here and just move with your breath's rhythm. Find a nice pace that works good for you. Take one more cycle of breath here. And then find your way back to a nice neutral spine. Left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Right hand's going to reach up. Take a gentle side bend. We're staying just for one breath, and we're going to take it right over to the other side. Right hand is going to touch down. Left hand reaches up. Beautiful. And then take it right back to the other side. But now we're going to go a little bit further. So reach that arm way out so that your sits bones or the other side of your glutes lifts up off the ground. Find that nice side bend. Reach your top arm up. And then as you press into your hand that's on the ground, press your sits bones down, reach long through the fingertips, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then lift up with a little bit of control, take it to the other side. Nice long reach so that your glutes lift up off the ground. Take that top hand, reach it up, and then reach through the fingertips, push your sits bones down to the ground. Find that nice long length through the side of the body. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up with control, moving right into a seated twist. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand behind you. Take a nice big inhale. Inhale and we'll release back to center. And then as you exhale, take your twist over to the other side. Find your knee, get nice and tall on your inhale. Wonderful. Inhale, come back to center, and then we're going to take that twist over to the other side again. Catch your handhold, get your hand behind you nice and sturdy so that almost like you're tenting your fingers so you can get super tall through your spine. And then we're going to stay with this side, stay in this twisted position, and even stay with that nice leverage in your twist. But now turn your head away from your twist. So if you're twisted to the left, turn your head to the right, but an active turn of the head. So rather than a soft and passive turn, turn your head. Use your muscles engaged here. One more moment with that engaged muscles in the neck, and then you're going to tuck chin down towards your shoulder and then soften your shoulder, soften your neck. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Lift your chin to a neutral position, unwind, and then take your twist over to the other side. Catch your knee, get that nice tall handhold in the back so you find that nice tall lifted spine. Beautiful. And then keep that leverage twist, but turn your head in the opposite direction, but it's an active turn. So feel the muscles in your neck working. Cool. And then tuck your chin towards your shoulder and then soften the muscles in the neck, soften your shoulder. Nice. And then lift your chin back up, release your twist, and we'll take it right into an easy seated forward fold. So walk yourself forward, think hip hinge. So we're going to lean the chest forward, reaching out nice and long, and then find a nice energetic reach through the arms. Reach through the fingers, the little action in the backs. As you reach through the fingers, you might feel your shoulders and the lats and the side body. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Press into the fingertips, drag your fingers as you pull the abdominal muscles in, pull your ribs backwards, and then we're going to swim the hands back. Nice gentle back bend. Tall fingers, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your back bend, lean into your sits bones. We're going to switch the cross in our legs and then come back to that easy seated forward fold. So give a second to just make sure your legs are arranged well. And then once you feel like you're there, hinge from your hips. Reach nice and long, active through the fingers, active through the arms. Take a nice big breath. Maybe just take a moment to notice little subtle variations from this switch of your seat. And then press into your fingertips, draw your abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers, pull the ribs back nice and strong from your center, swim your hands behind you, tall fingers, lift your chest, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then release your hands back to your knees and then just drop left ear over to your left shoulder. Let your ear get nice and heavy. And if it feels good, just close your eyes down for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Lift your head up to a neutral position and then take it over to the other side. Drop your right ear to right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Lift your head up to neutral. Take a little wriggle of your shoulders. We're going to find our way into our tabletop position. So come onto all fours in any way that works good for you. And as you come onto all fours, just check in. If you need to double stack your mat or put a little cushion under your knees, give yourself that little bit of care that feels good. And then once you've found your way into your tabletop position, just gazing down at the hands, we're going to lift both thumbs, just the thumbs, up slightly away from the floor, and then release your thumbs down. Lift both index fingers away from the floor, and then release. Middle fingers lift and release. Both ring fingers lift and release. Both pinky fingers lift and release. Nice. And now take it into your wrist. Both wrists are going to lift, but the fingers stay on the ground, and then lower back down with control. Both wrists lift and release back down. Awesome. One more just like that. Both wrists lift and release back down. Beautiful. And now we're going to take it into the scapula. So chest is going to lower down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then push the floor away from you, round your upper back body. Awesome. Drop your chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades, push the floor away, and little rounding through the upper back body. Lovely. One more just like that. Drop the chest, push the floor away and round. Nice. And then find a neutral spine, move right into cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. One more cycle of breath here. And then as you find a neutral spine, curl your toes under, pull your butt back to your heels. So a little stretch the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Hang out here for a moment or two. And if it feels good to you, maybe a little rocking of the hips side to side, any little gentle movement here that feels nice. One more little rock side to side if you're rocking. And then when you're ready, lift back up, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. Hands are going to walk towards the top edge of your mat, hips stay in line with your knees. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Wonderful. When you're ready, nice and easy, walk it back up into your tabletop position, moving right into extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Bring your butt back towards your heels and then settle in here. Let your belly, your chest, your forehead melt down. And then if your elbows can find the ground, prayer hands to the back of the head. So we're going to bring those prayer hands together. Fingertips are going to be pointing up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. Cool. And then when you're ready, if those prayer hands were behind your head, go ahead and release them. Lift yourself back up to that tabletop position, walking your knees in. We're going to slide the right leg back with the toes curled under and take a few gentle rocks forward and back just to create a little space in the back of the leg. Wake up the Achilles heel and wake up your calf. Awesome. And then the next time your shoulders come back in line with the wrist, move right into spinal balance. Lift that right leg up. Left hand is going to reach up and out. Gaze down at the floor. Stabilize through your center. Broaden your shoulders. Pull the abdominal muscles in. Beautiful. Take one more breath. Release that down with control and we'll switch to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back. Toes curled under. Rock yourself forward and back. The next time shoulders come in line with the wrists, stay there, lift the left leg up, spinal balance. Right hand reaches up, gaze is down at the floor, firm up your center. Beautiful. Release that with control. Curl both toes under, exhale, and find your way up to downward facing dog. And take a few petals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Nice. One or two more petals of the legs. And then we're going to take from our downward facing dog. Your toes are going to stay curled under, but we're going to start to find our way back to a child's pose position. So you're going to gently bring the knees down as you pull your bum back towards your heels, reaching long through the fingertips, but the toes stay curled under. And then from this position, we're going to drop the elbows down and then slide your heart forward so that you can come onto your belly. Beautiful. And then once you found your way there, hands alongside your shoulders, elbows soften at your ribs. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. One more time here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Stay in that lower position, gazing down at the floor. Bend both knees and swish your heels a little side to side. So the nice little windshield wipers here. And as you find this windshield wiper movement, tune in. Notice the tops of your thighs. They might be getting massaged across the floor. Notice your low back. And then just notice if you're holding a lot of tension in your glutes. Can you soften your glutes to find this gentle movement here and just bring a little soothing into your low back? Beautiful. One more swish of the heels side to side, and then float your toes back down to the ground. We're going to push our way up into a tabletop position. Curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog, a pedal or two of the legs. And then when you're ready, we're going to look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees. Make some space for your belly, make some space for your chest, and then just let your hands hang nice and heavy here. Let your head drop down. Let the whole spine dangle. Take one more breath. And then we're just going to lift slightly so that the hands can hang in a dangle and they're loose out of the shoulder girdle. And then we're just going to take our arms and draw them in circles. Go in one direction, let your arms be nice and heavy. Take your arms, draw them in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then let your arms come to a stillness. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come up. Roll your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them around, down and back. Inhale, lift your arms up and look up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Do that again. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. One more time there. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands down at your side. Right hand's going to touch up against the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up alongside your ear. Add a side bend here. So slide your fingertips down towards your knee. And then as that top hand reaches up, pull the thumb back up. Pull the thumb back slightly. Gaze up towards the sky. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then lift up with control. Take it to the other side. Left hand's going to touch down. Right hand's going to reach up. Slide your fingertips down towards your knee. Top hand is reaching, but we're pressing down into the standing leg. So we're keeping our legs nice and anchored. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then lift up with strength and control. We're going to bring both hands down in front of the hips, interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press them down, glide your shoulders down, and then just let the weight of your palms press down into the earth, and then just pause here for a moment. Close your eyes down. Notice your fingers, notice your palms. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Keeping that interlace of the fingers and the palms pressing down. Now we're going to bring that up to the chest. So the palms are now pressing forward. Pause there, soften your shoulders. And then loosen your elbows up to make a little space. Lift your arms up and overhead. Create some space for your shoulder blades. And then once you've got that space for the shoulder blades, press your palms up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then as you unlace your fingers up and overhead, give your hands a nice good shake as you bring the hands down alongside your body. And then once you've brought your hands down alongside your body, we're going to take it into a bounce. So we're going to let our heels start to pop off the ground, finding a little bit of vibration here. You can go as vigorous as feels right to you, but keep a softness in your knees so that you don't accidentally lock into your knees. Let your shoulders bounce, let your arms bounce. Notice that vibration in your breath. Take a nice generous inhale. Nice slow exhale. Take 1 or 2 more moments here just to find that nice vibration in the body, bringing energy out to your extremities, out to your fingers, down to your toes. Nice. And then when you're ready, let that all come to stillness. Close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to find just a little bit more intentional mountain pose. So start by looking down at your feet. Feet are going to be about hip or shoulder distance apart. If you like that closer stance, awesome. For most of us, it might feel a little bit more comfortable to keep the feet in line with the hip points. So just know that you can always step your feet closer or further away, whatever works the best for your body, but find a nice even stance. And then as you look down at your feet, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can, nice and active. Feel the muscles in your feet get engaged. And then imagine you're lifting the soles of the feet upward. Let that lift come up through the front of your body. Ground your shoulders down, toes are still lifted up off the ground, reaching upward through the crown of your head. Reach down through your fingertips, and same thing here. So variations in the shoulder, palms facing forward might feel really good, or palms facing in might feel better. So you choose your own adventure when it comes to where your hands go. And then once you feel like you've got that energy down into the fingertips, keeping the soles of the feet lifted, relax your toes down to the ground. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold, hands glide to the shins. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. And now we're going to reach up, grab that imaginary beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into a little chair. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up, keep holding on to that beach ball. Exhale, sink into a little chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink into your chair. And then as you inhale and rise up, we're going to find that funky grip. So we're just going to wrap the hands around so we can catch palm to palm, but in that overhead position. Keep your hips facing forward. Draw your ribs in circles, go in one direction. Draw your ribs in circles, go the other way. As you come back to center, unlace your hands, float your arms down, roll your shoulders around, down and back. And now bend your knees. Hands are going to come to the tops of the thighs. 3 Uddiyana breaths. So inhale, take a nice full breath. Exhale, at the end of your exhale, pull the abdominal muscles in. So we suck in and get that hollow belly. Hold it for a moment. Release the abdominal muscles and then take your inhale. Exhale. At the end of your exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, hollow the belly best you can. Hold it for a moment. Release the abdominal muscles and then take your inhale. One more time here. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, hold it for a moment. Release your abdominal muscles with control. Take your inhale and then rise back up. Find your mountain pose again. Lift from the soles of your feet. Lift up through the crown of your head. Round your shoulders down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down. Toes tucked or release, totally up to you. One big breath. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, bring your arms down, curl your back toes under. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. So pick that back knee up, front foot steps back. And then from here, we're going to keep the toes curled under, but bring it back to that child's pose position. So bend your knees, bring your butt back toward your heels as your knees come down to the ground. Beautiful. And then we're going to slide the heart forward. So elbows come down, glide your heart forward, bring it all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhale up to a cobra. Beautiful. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. So we bring the knee down, the back toes tucked or release, whatever is more stable to you. Inhale, lift your arms up. Beautiful. Exhale, bring your hands down. We're going to step that front leg back to downward facing dog. So pick up that back knee, slide that front leg back. And then as we lower the knees down to the ground, bring your butt back towards your heels. Beautiful. And then drop your elbows down, slide your heart forward. Inhale up to a cobra. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Nice. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Find your intentional mountain pose here. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, low lunge, bring the knee down, toes tucked or release, your choice. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, float your hands down. We're going to take 1/2 splits here. So pull your hips back, peel the front toes up. So let your toes pull back with you. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward. We're going to curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up, and then we're going to open up into a warrior two. So that back heel is going to drop down, rotate out about 45 degrees. Pick your right hand up. Beautiful. And then straighten your front leg. Both toes are going to turn out to the right side of the mat. So we're going to find that nice wide position like a 5-pointed star. But now we're going to turn the toes in slightly. Once you've got the toes turned in slightly, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground, let your hands just find the ground, plant your palms, find that little kind of halfway lift situation. So just a little look forward, straighten your back. Beautiful. And then soften into your fold, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up to standing, finding your way back to that warrior two position. So your left toes are going to turn towards the front end of your mat, bend that front knee. Beautiful. Now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pivot on your back heel, find your runner's lunge, plant the palms, step back to plank. Nice. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. And then either find your way through a tabletop position or go right up to your down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Nice. Left leg back. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or release, totally up to you. One breath. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Rock back into half splits. Pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. So you come through that runner's lunge, finding warrior two, drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. Awesome. And then straighten the front leg. Both toes turn to the left side of your mat, and then both toes come in slightly. So think pigeon toe, soften your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground, let your hands find the ground, plant your palms, think halfway lift, press into the palms, lift your gaze. Beautiful. Soften down a little bit, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up to a standing position. Right toes are going to turn towards the front end of your mat. Bend that front knee as you come through your warrior two, and then cartwheel your hands down to the ground as you pivot that back foot. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. One Cobra here. Inhale, lift up as high as you like. Exhale, bring it through table or up to downward facing dog. Come up any way that you like. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Find your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. We're going to keep those palms at the heart center, elbows nice and wide and active. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Pick your right foot up just to see where your balance is at right now. And then you'll decide if you want to step off your mat to find a firmer surface. Set your right foot down, shift your weight over to the other side. Palms pressed together, nice and active through the upper body. Lift your left leg up, nothing fancy, just see where your balance is at. Nice, and then release that foot down, give everything a little shake. And then if you feel like you wanted a firmer surface, maybe off the cushion of your mat, take a second to get yourself where you want to be. And then we're going to come back to that balance. So we're going to shift over to the left foot, pick the right knee up, left hand is going to reach across, and then right hand coming straight out from your chest. You're going to start to open and rotate, reaching the right hand back. See if you can let your gaze follow. Beautiful. When you're ready to release, bring it back in with control or with as much grace as you can find. Set that leg down, give everything a little shake, make sure everything feels okay, and then we'll take it to the other side. So find your foothold first, pick up your left knee. Right hand is going to reach across to the outside of that knee. Left hand is going to come forward first, and then we're going to start to open up. Think lifting tall through the crown of your head as you find rotation. Slow and steady so you can maintain your gaze. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, with as much control as you can, bring it all back in, set it down, give everything a little shake, wiggle out your ankles, shake out anything you may have come across in your shoulders or your hands. And then when you feel like you've shaken it all out, come back to your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Anchor into your feet and lift up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, one breath. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, back to half splits. Come forward, curl the back toes under. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. So that front leg is going to step back. Once you found your downward facing dog, we're going to lower into that child's pose position. So bring your knees down, pull your bum back toward your heels, a nice active reach through the arms, and then drop your elbows down, glide your heart forward, find your way into that Cobra position. Beautiful. And then exhale, either take it through your table or up to your downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge, back toes tucked or released, your choice. One breath. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale back to your half splits. Exhale to come forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, step it back to your downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, we bring the knees down, bring your butt back toward your heels. Find that child's pose-like position, and then drop your elbows down. Glide your heart forward. Slide your legs back, lift up into your Cobra, and then find your way to down dog, maybe through a tabletop or just bring it right up, totally up to you. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Pause here just for a moment. Close your eyes down, tune back into your breath. Take a nice, generous inhale, fill your lungs up. Nice, slow exhale. Take a moment just to listen into the sounds around you. One more breath. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down. One breath. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, float your arms down. Inhale to half splits, pull the hips back. Exhale to rock forward. We're going to curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up, and now find our way to warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out slightly. Right hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And then straighten that front leg. Toes turn out to the right side of your mat. And then toes turn in even more. So think pigeon toes, hinge from your waist, reaching long down towards the ground. And then once you've found your way here, you're just going to see how it feels. If you've got a good width of your legs and you're really happy with that position, now you're just going to reach your peace fingers and grab hold of your big toes. So with your two peace fingers, you're going to just catch your toe hold. But if you feel like you're there and you're just not getting enough sensation, you can opt to walk your feet maybe a little bit wider, but we still want that slight pigeoning of the toes. So toes turned in. And then once you've got a good width with your legs, grab hold of those big toes, let your head drop down. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your hold from your big toes. Let your hands come back underneath your face. Press firm. Think that halfway lift. And then with that halfway lift, soften your knees just a little bit. Lift yourself back up. You're going to keep those right toes turned in. Left toes are going to turn out. Float through your warrior two position. And then spin your hands down to the ground as you pivot on your back heel. Beautiful. Plant your palms. Step back to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, you're going to lower your knees, bring your butt back toward your heels, and then drop your elbows down, glide your heart forward, inhaling up to your Cobra. Exhale, take it through table or up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or release your choice. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, float your arms down. Inhale, back to half splits. Exhale as you rock forward. Curl your back toes under, pick your back knee up. And now we find our way to warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And then straighten that front leg. Both toes are going to turn to the left side of the mat. And then toes turn in slightly. So we get that slight pigeon toed situation going on. Hinge from your waist. Reach your hands down to the ground. Rearrange your foothold any way that you need to so you feel like you have a good sturdy position with your legs. And then if you can, take your peace fingers, grab hold of the big toes, soften through the back of the body, let your head drop down. One more breath here. Release your hold from your big toes. Walk your hands in so that they're a little closer to your face. Think halfway lift, press into the palms. Find that nice halfway lift situation. Beautiful. And then soften your knees. Lift your way back up. Turn your right toes to the front end of your mat. Bend that front knee as you find your way through that warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to the ground as you pivot on that back heel. Awesome. Plant your palms. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, bring your butt back towards your heels. Think child's pose as you come back. And then drop your elbows down, slide your heart forward, slide your legs back. Inhale up to your Cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through a table to down dog. Beautiful. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides, and then we're going to take a couple of light taps to the kidneys. So making light, loose little fists. You're just going to start to find a nice little tap to the low back side of the body. One or two more taps to the kidneys, and then we're going to take our hands with an open palm situation. Slide your hands down the outsides of your legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs, come to your belly, give your belly a little rub. And then we'll do that again. Slide your hands down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs to the belly, give a little rub. And this is just a little lymphatic movement. Lymphatic fluid doesn't move without our help. So exercise and movement always helps. Slide your hands down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs to the belly, give a little rub. Nice. And then we're going to start to bring our way down to the ground, but see if you can do hands free. I know not everybody can, so don't worry if you can't, but we're going to start to find our way into a little toe balance. So if you can, pick up your heels, bend your knees, and start to find your way down into that toe balance. At any point, if you need to bring your hands down to the ground, do the thing that is the most secure to you so that you feel safe in your practice. And then once you found your way there, see if you can just hold in a little balance. Maybe prayer hands to heart center, elbows nice and wide, lift up through the crown of your head. One more breath. And then when you're ready, hands are just going to find the ground so you can sit gently back onto your butt. We're going to take it right into a wide leg seat. And I'm just going to spin around so I'm facing out to the camera. So you're going to take your legs into a nice wide position. Think pulling the toes back. So we want to stay nice and active through the inner thighs. So rather than that pigeon toe situation where your hips kind of roll forward, now we want to pull the toes back. Find that nice upright spine from that little hip hinge. Walk your hands forward just a little bit. Take a big breath. Lift your chest, press into your palms. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward one step and soften just a little bit, but the legs stay active and the pinky toes are still drawing back. Inhale, lift, press into your palms. Exhale, walk your hands forward, soften a little bit more. One more just like that. Inhale, lift, press into your palms. Exhale, soften, walk your hands forward one more step. Cool, and then drag your fingers. So think press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers as you pull your way back up nice and strong. Beautiful. And then grab the back sides of your knees, bend your knees, help bring your legs together. And we're going to roll down to the ground and then just have your yoga block or your stack of books handy so that you have them accessible to your hands once you're down on the ground. So roll your way down, take your time as you come down. And then as you come down to the ground, just give yourself a second, get yourself situated, make sure everything is in a good position. As you walk your heels a little bit closer to your butt, feet about hip width distance apart, we're going to come back to that pelvic tilt situation. So pressing your arms into the ground. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. Exhale to press. Inhale to release. And now we're going to inhale and lift up into a bridge, just one bridge here, lift up and hold. So this is more of an active position. You want to think about reaching your knees toward your toes so that we just create a little bit of activity and length through the tops of the thighs and maybe through the front of the hips. And just notice how your body feels here. Take a nice big breath. And then we're going to release with, think hip hinge. So rather than rolling down through the spine, just hinge at your hip, bring your back down nice and slow. Pull both knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. Awesome. And then set your feet down. And now we're going to take it into that supported bridge. So feet about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt. And then you'll play around with the height of your block that feels good. I personally like a medium height that works good for my proportions of my body. A lower setting if you're short or if you just have any back issues that you want a little bit more support. And the tallest setting, I would say, only works good for people who are super tall. So you choose your variation of the size of the lift that you're going to go for, but we're going to press into the feet, lift the hips up, slide your block or your books underneath your butt. So it's going to be under your tailbone and underneath your broad hip bones. We want to make sure that the block feels good and supportive. So give a second to just make sure everything feels comfortable. It's in that nice supportive position. And then once you feel like you've got it in a good position, just let your hands drop out at your sides, let your shoulder head soften down. We're going to take about 5 deep breaths here, but we're going to let the breath and gravity do all the work here. So release any efforting that you can. When you feel ready, first start by giving your toes a little wiggle. Just make sure they feel good and active on the ground. And then press into your feet. Lift your hips up away from your block or your books. Slide that out from underneath you. And then roll down through your spine. Think upper back, middle back, low back. Once your hips touch down to the ground, pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. And then we're going to move right into supine twist. So hold on to your right knee. Let your left leg go right nice and long. And then take that right knee over and across the body. Let your arm open out nice and wide. Maybe your head turns to the right. Take 3 nice big breaths. Great. And then from here, we're going to take this right leg into a half happy baby. So pull the knee in toward your chest, and then we're going to swing that knee out nice and wide. So you might choose to just stay in that wide position or float your foot up and then get a handhold that works good for you. I like the blade edge of my foot, but you might choose big toe, or you might choose to wrap your hand around the outside of the thigh. But we want to keep that knee wide to the outsides of the ribs, and then let the knee draw down towards the ground, heel up towards the sky, soften your shoulders, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you're going to release your handhold, maybe pulling both knees into the chest for a little squeeze as we transition. And then take that left knee, hold on. Right leg is going to go nice and long. And now supine twist to the other side, taking the left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the left if that feels good. Awesome. And then when you're ready, taking that left knee in, find your way into that half happy baby. So swinging the knee out to the outside of the ribs, and you might choose to stay there or float the foot up and find a handhold that works good for you there. Knee is going to draw down towards the ground, heel up towards the sky. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, release your handhold, pull both knees back into the chest. And then we're going to take those knees, draw them in circles, go in one direction. Draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Hug your knees back into your chest, and then we're going to set the feet down, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat, and then start to find some windshield wipers. Just softly dropping the knees side to side to start. And then the next time your knees drop over to the right, let them sink all the way down. And then if you know it's safe and comfortable to your knee or to your hip, you're going to take the right foot, stack it on top of the left leg, let your knees drop down again, head turns to the left, take a nice big breath. Cool. And then think figure four twist. So bring your head back to center. Keep that leg stacked on the right as you lift your legs up into a figure four, but now figure four twist. So we're going to take that right foot, drop it over to the left. Let the foot plant down onto the ground. Both shoulders stay anchored. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then keeping that figure four shape, but just bring the legs back to center. We're going to lift the left leg up, thread your hands through for one good breath. So we're just going to catch hold of the back of the thigh, bring it in for one little squeeze. And then release, unwind your legs, step them back to the outer edges of your mat, come back to those windshield wipers, just gently moving side to side. Wonderful. And then the next time your knees drop over to the left, let them sink all the way down. And just assuming that it's safe and comfortable to your knee and your hip, you're going to pick up that left leg, stack it on top of the right, let the knees drop down, turn your head to the right, take a nice big breath. Head comes back to neutral, legs are going to lift to center, and then figure four twist. So we're going to take that left foot, drop it over to the right, let the foot find the ground. Wonderful. And then inhale, bring it all back to center. Lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh, one good breath. Gently draw the legs in. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, unwind your legs, step them out wide again, come back to that wide position. And then just a few gentle windshield wipers just to kind of soothe all that out. But then check in here. We're going to start to get ourselves set up for our Shavasana, but we're going to get cozy and then do a couple of bee buzzing breath or Brahmari. And then from that Brahmari, you'll take yourself right into your Shavasana. So take a second to just ask yourself, would it feel good to put socks on, put your sweater back on, or get your blanket into position? And you'll do your bee buzzing breath in the position or close to the position that you want to take your Shavasana in. But bee buzzing breath is you reduce all your senses. So you're going to close your eyes and you'll plug up your ears and then you'll make a humming sound. So first start by just getting yourself into a comfortable position. And then before we get engaged in our bee buzzing breath, just kind of come back to that listening in, noticing the sounds of the room that you're working in. And then asking yourself, does it feel safe and comfortable? If you closed your eyes down and you couldn't hear a lot of sounds for a moment, would you feel safe and comfortable? So you might choose maybe not to close your eyes, or you might choose not to plug your ears. So you might choose a subtle variation that works good for you and makes you feel comfortable, because you don't want to you don't want to increase anxiety. Bee buzzing breath generally tends to reduce anxiety. So that's what we're going to shoot for. And once you've got yourself in a position, you're cozy, you're ready for your Shavasana. For the bee buzzing breath, you will close your eyes, you'll plug up your ears, you'll inhale a breath, and your exhale is a hum. So we're going to take 10 cycles of breath doing our bee buzzing breath. I will only do 3 just so that the sound of my breath through the microphone isn't distracting to you. So I just will start you off with the 3 breaths, and then you won't hear me anymore, and you'll continue with your 10 or 7 cycles of breath from there. And then once you've completed your cycles of breath, you'll release your hands into a comfortable position, and then you'll just start to find your way to your Shavasana. So when you feel ready, if you feel like you're in a comfortable place, maybe close your eyes down, plug up your ears, take a nice big inhale, exhale and hum. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers and your toes. And then for a moment here, as you're wiggling your fingers and your toes, bring some awareness up to your mouth, your lips, and your face, and just kind of smoosh your lips around, wiggle your mouth, wiggle your jaw. Maybe even do that little bewitched, wiggle your nose a little bit, any little bit of gentle movement in the face. And then as you start to wiggle around your face, maybe let that go, invite some movement into your knees, into your wrists, your ankles, your elbows. And then if all feels really good, take a big good morning stretch, like a yawn stretch from fingers to toes. Take a nice deep breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So maybe come back to Tsukasana where we started, but any other seated position that feels nice to you. Nice. And then as you come up to that comfortable seated position, just take a second to let your shoulders soften down. We're going to take palms facing upwards. So flip your palms so the palms are open facing the sky. Close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. And then just for a moment, notice your palms. Are your hands warm or cool? No right or wrong, just notice. Are they moist or dry? And then can you notice the cool air on your skin? Bring your index finger to touch the tip of your thumb. And then reach a little long through the other extended fingers and get a little taller up through the crown of your head. Take a nice big breath. Think about grounding down into your sits bones. And then on your next inhale, gather your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra and bow your head to your heart. And breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy, happy Tuesday.